So, let's start with blizzards. Blizzards consist of high-speed winds picking up snow that has fallen. A strong front in below-freezing weather with a significant amount of moisture and strong winds will result in a blizzard. Generally, warm wet air from the oceans results in blizzards. But in a phenomenon called the lake effect snow, the warm water from the Great Lakes warms cold air from Canada and causes snowfall and high winds, creating a blizzard. Most occur in the northern Midwest and Alaska. Many states have no blizzards at all. For the southwest, it is too dry, and for the southeast, it is too hot. Blizzards can shut down whole cities. Wires can be destroyed, potentially knocking out electricity and internet. The massive amount of snow can result in a city being closed even after the winds have stopped. The dangers include hypothermia, frostbite, and even freezing to death. The biggest problem is that blizzards can last up to 5 days with constant snowing and strong winds. Stay inside and wait it out. Do not risk going outside. If that's impossible, stay hydrated to avoid hypothermia, but do not eat the snow. That will lead to hypothermia. If you're in an area with common blizzards, you should be on the lookout for blizzard warnings and watches. Moving on, flash floods are a sudden and severe flood that occurs within 6 hours of the event. Most often, flash floods are caused by heavy rain during a thunderstorm or the meltwater from a mountain. Rarely, flash flooding can occur from the meltwater of an ice jam or glacier suddenly melting. The Northeast to Texas and the regions underneath that have frequent thunderstorms due to the moisture brought up from the Gulf. As for the flash floods in the Southwest, they are caused by meltwater from the Rockies. Flash floods are almost always measured based upon inches of rain, lives lost, and damage in dollars. Watch for heavy amounts of rain and flash flood warnings. Plan ahead. If you're in a risk zone, have a place to evacuate to. Do not try to move through the water at all. Even a seemingly small amount of water could cause serious physical harm to you. Thunderstorms form at humid cold fronts. The sudden updraft of the warm air creates a cumulonimbus cloud, assuming the warm air contains enough water. Because of this, many thunderstorms occur where it is wetter. The Gulf is a large contributor to moisture in the United States atmosphere, which means that there are a higher number of thunderstorms in the southeast. Lightning is the rapid exchange of currents between the bottom of a cumulonimbus cloud and the ground, or inside a single cloud or between two clouds. Generally, negative charge buildup in a cloud causes a positive charge to build up in the ground, and once it reaches a certain point, the strong negatively charged nuclei go in search of the positively charged ground. Thunder is a byproduct of lightning. It's created by the rapid superheating and subsequent sonic boom that occurs during this process. Another smaller source of thunder is the rush of air trying to fill in the vacuum created by the lightning. The Beaufort wind scale measures thunderstorms based upon wind speed. Faster wind means a more severe storm. Thunderstorms are also measured based upon the number of cumulonimbus clouds. The more clouds, the more severe the storm. The risks associated with thunderstorms are flash flooding, strong winds, lightning, hail, and even tornadoes. Of these, flash flooding and lightning are the most dangerous. In order to mitigate damage from a thunderstorm, assemble a disaster supply kit and have a line of communication with your family available. Stay inside or seek shelter in a car or building. Close windows, secure doors, and unplug any electrical equipment. Let's move on to hurricanes, Hurricanes are large-scale storms that cover a significant area and have high wind speeds. They can also result in a storm surge or the rising of the sea due to violent wind patterns. Hurricanes form when warm ocean water rises from a cold front and results in storm clouds and sufficient wind speeds. The eye is a fairly calm zone at the very center of the hurricane. It is roughly 20 to 40 miles wide. Hurricanes are measured using the Saffir-Simpson scale, which goes from 1 to 5 and 74 to 155 plus mile per hour wind speeds, respectively. Hurricanes appear on the east and west coast, up to 100 miles inland, and any territories or states in the Atlantic or Pacific Oceans. The dangers include powerful winds, heavy rainfall, storm surge, coastal and inland flooding, rip currents, tornadoes, and even landslides. Stay inside to avoid high winds. Go to storm shelters if that is required. Do not walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Create an emergency preparedness kit with water sufficient for at least 3 days, medications, a flashlight, batteries, cash, and first aid supplies. If told to evacuate, do so immediately. Tornadoes are caused by wind shear, the changing direction and increasing speed of wind as altitude increases, and any instability in the atmosphere. An example is at a cold front where the warm air creates a spiral of air because of the friction with the cold air below it. This is an unstable system with higher wind speed and likely a change in direction at higher altitudes. Tornadoes are often part of thunderstorms. Tornadoes tend to occur in the southeast and midwest. The cold air coming from the northwest interacts with the warm, moist air coming from the Gulf and the warm, dry air coming from Mexico to create what is called Tornado Valley in the middle of the United States. Additionally, a tornado can consist of many vortices that all participate in the destructive force of the event. Tornadoes are measured using the Fujita scale, which measures wind speed as a metric to determine the probable damage caused by a tornado. The Fujita scale goes from 1 to 5 and from 40 to 318 mph winds, respectively. High upward wind speeds can lift debris, break glass, and cause severe structural damage. The first step to avoid physical injury from a tornado is to go to a shelter or basement inside of a sturdy structure. If no basement exists, go to a small, windowless room on the lowest level of whatever building you're in. Stay away from the doors, windows, and outside walls. If such a location isn't available, cover your head and neck with your arms and your body with a blanket. Watch out for flying debris that can cause serious injury.